Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we live and garden here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today's a beautiful day. It's a false spring day, but it is warm, and I'm going to take advantage of this weather to put up some fencing to protect my shrubs from further deer damage. Let's go take a look. I'm hoping that the noise from the blower down the street isn't getting in the middle of my effort to have good sound. I do have my microphone on, so hopefully my microphone is working. But I wanted to show you what's been going on with my north side of my front yard, that shrub border that we planted just last year. So I have a shrub border that starts here at our front fence and goes all the way down the side of our front yard to the street. And in this border, I put things that I thought were going to be evergreen and that were going to be deer resistant. But let's take a look. This is 1, 2, 3 Clayera shrubs. And I thought for sure they were going to be evergreen, but no, they are not evergreen. They do have, this one has just a few leaves here at the top, but the rest of them have all been defoliated. And you can tell the deer have eaten these. Every single stem had deer chomping the ends of them. And so, yeah, the deer have been all over these. This is a Rose of Sharon. The deer have eaten that as well. The Dragon Lady Holly. Looks like the deer have stayed away from it for the most part. There might be a couple of bites taken here or there, but they must not have liked it because it's pretty well preserved. Let's see, this is where I have dahlias still in the ground. This is an Eastern Snowball Viburnum, and the deer have eaten these. All of the tips of that. Here's my Japanese holly. This is Chesapeake Japanese holly, and it's been pretty well chewed on as well. See, all of these stems pretty much chomped on. Further down the way, this is a winter red winterberry, completely chewed off. This is the button bush right here. And down the way here is the sweet spire, the little Henry. Either that or this is the button bush and this is the sweet spire. I can't remember. I'll have to look at my plan. So they all lost all their leaves, which I was expecting. But the winterberry should not have been eaten the way it was, and neither should these things. Now down here, this is a beautyberry. It looks like it is fine. The deer have not eaten the tips of the beautyberry. This is deciduous. It will come back. So I'm hopeful for this. This Dragon Lady also, I don't think it took any damage. I don't see any damaged spots here. But my skip laurels, here we go. More chewing of the skip laurels. This, don't worry about this. This is an old mahogany splendor hibiscus. But these skip laurels here all have taken damage. Down here, check this out. China Boy Holly. Chomp, chomp. Although I do see flower buds on it, so it didn't die. But it sure did get eaten. And these viburnums, all 4 of them, have been eaten all winter long. And finally down here, this is a Southern Gentleman winterberry. And it too was eaten long before the winter ever came. So this is my shrub border. You can see down here. Now the deer, they come out of the woods that are down there. They walk up outside our fence in our neighbor's backyard, and they walk through here. And then they come out here and they just use my shrubs as a salad bar. So my plan is to put up some deer netting just along my neighbor's side of my shrub border, so that hopefully that will deter the deer from coming up through their yard and then eating my shrubs. Now, if I have enough of the fencing left over, I might also put some on my side of the shrub border as well. But we'll see how far what I have stretches. Also, notice all the wild onions that are coming up. They're such a pain in the booty. And hey, the neighbors got rid of their dead yew shrub carcasses that were all along there. So that's been cleaned up. So I'm very happy about that. And by the way, there's just this whole big mound of deer poop, fresh ones, old ones, just all here right in my front yard, right here. So yeah, they definitely come here. We've seen them laying down and bedding for the night in our neighbor's front yard. Here's what I'm going to be using for fencing. This is wildlife netting used for protection of vegetation and fruit from animals. This is 7 feet wide, but it's been folded in half, so it's 3.5 feet wide right now, but I could unfold it to be 7 feet, and it's 100 feet long, so I definitely will have enough to do both the back side and the front side of my shrub border if I want, because that from here to the street is about 85 feet, and if I cut this in half, which would be tedious but possible, then I could run 85 feet on that side and 85 feet on this side. So I think first I have to look and see how many stakes I have. These are the stakes I'll be using. These are plastic coated with a metal core. They're not incredibly tall. I think these are 5 feet tall. I might have some that are 6 feet tall. But if I'm only doing the 3.5 foot wide netting, then that will be just fine. It's a little bit breezy today, so it might be a little tricky to get this project done, especially if I want to cut the netting in half. I don't know. I'm just going to see how it goes. So my plan is just put these stakes into the ground and stretch this netting across them and adhere the netting to the stakes. Probably, I don't know how yet. We're going to figure it out. Okay, so it stretched really far, actually, almost back away all the way around, but not quite. So what we're going to do, so far on each of the posts, except for that first one, it's only connected with 2 loops at the top right now. What we're going to do is I'm going to go along and cut the fold to make it right along the top here. I'll just cut along there, and Dave's going to follow behind me and roll it up onto that tube as neatly as possible, but it's not going to be perfect. But, well, it wouldn't be if I did it. I don't know what he's going to do.
Aiming for perfection.
Don't worry about perfection. So. It's a little bit fiddly. Okay, so with Dave's help, we got the entire 100-foot roll of it cut roughly in half. And so now we're going to take what he rolled up onto there and finish going around. And then we need to really fasten it onto all the stakes, because right now they're just kind of hanging loose, and that is not going to be secure for very long. So let's get that done. Okay, so it's going to be super hard to see, but this is where it ended, the first run of it. So I'm going to take this off of here, overlap it with the new length of it. Can you bring the end over here, please? And if you can get behind me, then this will go overlapping this way. So we need both at the same time to go on here, as if they're one piece. All right, we're going to say that's on. We'll come back with some method of making that tighter in a minute. But now I need to get on the other side of the fence. All right, so let's just fit it for now. Around here. It's going to fall into the category of hot mess pretty soon. We're going to do it anyway. This was supposed to be this. The messier it is, the tighter it'll stay. That's my theory. Okay, so now we've got it totally enclosed, but the netting is really loose. It's only connected on the poles about back and forth one time. So we're going to have to go back and weave the netting over, under, over, under, over, under on each of the poles. And then we're going to have to come up with some method of holding it there so that it doesn't blow off in the wind. So we're going to just play around with a few things and see what works. All right, so what's been working for me is to just gather it all up, bring it up to the top, and then just do an accordion back and forth and back and forth all along the length of the netting, so that about every 8 to 10 inches it's being held in place, maybe every 6 to 8 inches or so. And I'm not pulling it all the way down to the ground yet because I do want the next one to be able to come up and get on the bottom edge of it to get onto the pipe or the pole. So I'm leaving it kind of bunched up right now, but I'll pull it down here in just a minute. Okay, we have enclosed this shrub border with that black half-inch bird netting. It's only 3.5 feet tall. And yes, I know deer can jump more than 3.5 feet tall, but it's a relatively small space, and I don't think deer like to jump over something where their landing spot is crowded or something. I've heard that once. So I'm going to go on that theory and just say that this 3.5 foot tall or so netting might be a deterrent to keep them from eating these shrubs. We'll see. This is by no means foolproof. It could be they just mow right into it and knock it down and get what they want anyway. I don't know, but I figured if I didn't try, then I couldn't complain about them getting my stuff. I do need to get the spray out as well and do the deer repellent spray. So that's another task. I'm going to look at the weather forecast. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, so that's our plan. Thanks for joining us today. I hope that you enjoyed what you saw, and maybe this will work, maybe this won't. If you've had experience with deer netting in a method like this, let me know how it went for you, and I will hopefully be back and see you again in another video real soon, friends. Take care. Bye-bye.